So, Dad, who would have thought you telling me 35 years ago you got to get a job? What industry? So, it's interesting when you look at how people get to where they get to. And golf was really not on my radar. I played a little bit of golf growing up. My grandfather would take me out and sneak me on the golf course, and Snyder Park was where we first started to play. And my first experience with a PGA golf professional was after sneaking onto a golf course when you're 5 or 6 years old, finishing up and seeing Bob Urbano at Springfield Country, or at Snyder Park, hitting golf shots. And as we finished up, he had made a note that I was there. And by the time you get done on 18, nothing really matters, so you don't feel like you committed any egregious sin by sneaking on the golf course by that point. But I had made mention of how good he hit the golf ball, and he came over, patted me on my head, and from that point on, I had a tremendous affection to people in the golf industry. And so it was always in the back of my mind that this is potentially kind of who I would identify with. So I quit a job, told Dad, he says, you gotta get a job. Went down to civilian rank at the military base at Wright Pat, ended up driving through the golf course at the military course at Wright Pat. And that was when it happened. And ever since then, I've had an identity, I've had a direction, and I've had a path. And every one of you have helped along that way. So that's what I was thinking as I came up. Did it come out right?
Well, it sure has come out right. I mean, you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm standing up here at the podium reading a lot of the script tonight and looking out into the audience, and one face out there is beaming with a smile all night long, and it's you.
Yeah.
I mean, you may be enjoying yourself more than anybody here tonight.
Well, it's always nice to be the center of attention, I must say. I'm so grateful. As we all get older, and all the Hall of Fame members that go before me, and the people that I am now associated with, Larry and Tom, you know what really strikes me about all these guys? They are genuinely nice people. They care. It could be golf, it could be tiddlywinks, it could be whatever it is, but they care. And that's really the secret. You gotta like people and you wanna make them happy. We get to play a party every day. So we have to realize that that's our responsibility, to give people an experience in which they can share with others. So all we do is we basically get to spread it around.
It's the best part of being in this business.
The people, without a doubt. There is absolutely, how many people have jobs where you don't see people frown very often, other than maybe hit a bad shot? Everybody's happy. I actually concern myself a little bit that I don't see the bad side of life very often. And I know that occasionally that's good to see just to keep things in balance. But as I've gotten older, it's also given me a tremendous amount of appreciation for what I get to do.
How has the industry changed since you've come in?
Well, what hasn't changed is the people dynamic. You have to like people. You also have to realize what's good about what you do and what's bad about what you do, and hire for those strengths and weaknesses. Golf's become much more of a commodity business. I mean, anything that you can do to essentially commoditize the business is what the world has been drawn to. We're battling between this idea of convenience and service, because right now everybody goes to Speedway, fill up their gas. Well, our industry is not really that way. And so where that ultimately ends up is kind of the big concern in my mind.
To a youngster, a girl or a boy who is contemplating getting into the golf business, what would you warn them about to be aware of as maybe an obstacle that they're going to run into at some time?
I don't know if it would just be a golf dynamic as it would be anywhere in life. My two daughters here with me tonight, they are fortunate enough to have found their calling. My youngest is a photographer, and my oldest is in veterinary services. So they have their passion. So the first thing you have to do is you have to understand that's your passion. And once you get that, then run with the passion. Try to adapt everything else around your passion. And don't forget the basics, obviously. I mean, the basics are the very fact that, I had a wonderful upbringing from my mom and dad. They gave me such tremendous, reach and growth from what they provided to me. I married a beautiful woman through golf. if we would have never met, well, that's not true because we met through a dating service. But I would have never have landed her if she hadn't come out to a group clinic, and say, hey, this is actually a real job. And the naysayers in my world at that time were pretty strong as to whether you should or shouldn't do this, just because a lot of people in my family are pretty technical. So, doing something like this was definitely a little bit against the grain.
Well, your mom and dad gave you the brown hair gene, just like they gave
Yes.
Larry. You guys got that going good. Why don't you share with us one of your more memorable moments in this business?
Boy, I don't know if there's just one in particular. I'll tell you one that just happened this past spring, or no, a couple weeks ago. So we're playing in the senior club professional championship. And this just speaks to the breadth of the quality of the people in this room. We're playing a hole that dog legs, and this guy's working in his yard. And it's clear that this man really cares about his yard. Well, here's a gentleman who had just come off of par or whatever, but he has the presence of mind to stop and say, your yard really looks nice. And I think we all probably know that this is a Bob Howard type story. But at the end of the day, I think each and every one of you would do this. And so all of the Bob Howards of the world, the Bob Harrisons, the Jim Sissels, the Jim Stalls, the Todd Johnsons, guys around here that you get to learn from. Ron Stepanet, thanks. And Zach, and Art, and Gene, and Steiny, and everybody that has been part of, I played around with Ricky this summer. It was a great round. So all these things are part of my experience. So this is the great thing. I've been blessed with this great, being able to be, gracious, I'm so fortunate. So I've got that gene, and I think my parents probably helped me with that. And so this is all about being able to thank all of you, because frankly, if it wasn't for the Cynthias of the world, or the Bob Rices of the world, my world would be a lot worse. So that's what it's about.
Well, congratulations again to you, Steve.
All right.